Sam, for people who aren't familiar with your restaurants, I want to tell them a little bit about it, because when I was reading through, I wasn't familiar with a lot of them, and every one of them sounds delicious. You've got restaurants like a Blanco, which is modern tacos and tequila, the Culinary Dropout, which is classic American food and drink, the Arrogant Butcher, which is upscale American comfort food, the Henry, which is classic American all-day fare, Flower Child, which is farm fresh casual eats. First of all, why did you come up with 13 different restaurant brands? What did you see out there that you thought might appeal to a restaurant format like this?
Yeah, it wasn't something that we started out to do. It was something that sort of happened by accident, going from my first restaurant to where we're at today. Originally, it was we had a very successful restaurant early on, and a piece of real estate came available right next door to us that we felt was going to be another opportunity to do a great restaurant. So, but forced us to actually come up with another new restaurant, and that was in 1998. And fast forward today, we caught the bug, and we love creating and we love cultivating new ideas and bringing them to life, and then growing them into brands around the country.
What was the very first restaurant, and what was the new one that you came up with for next door?
Yeah, the one in 1998 is Wildflower in Tucson, Arizona, which is still open and our flagship and the original restaurant. And the one next door was Sauce, was a fast casual pizza concept. A long time ago, we were early to the game in the fast casual business. Is
that one still open too?
That one is still open too. We've sold that one about 4 years ago. We grew that to about 13 units and sold that. And most all of our restaurants are still open to this today. We have a pretty good track record, thank goodness.
You know, the restaurant business is notoriously tough, and consumers are pretty fickle. What do you think it is that you've figured out in terms of the American psyche and giving them what they want?
You know, we listen to our guests a lot, and I think we're not trying to be the most trendiest person in the room. We're trying to be a little bit ahead of the trend. And so, you know, we're really into healthy, fast casual dining, and we're into so many different categories that we learn a lot when we do all these different restaurants. So if we're working on something for Flower Child, for instance, which, like I said, trends healthy, you know, that might get woven into some of our other brands, or it might spark an idea for something new. So we're always learning, always educating ourselves, and always trying to figure out what is next and what people want to eat.
Expanding takes money, and I know you've got some interesting investors, including Cheesecake Factory, which has bought into a couple of those restaurant brands. Why does Cheesecake Factory look around when it's been so successful in its own right and say, hey, we need somebody else to help us come up with the next thing?
You know, we get a lot of interest from a lot of big companies, and Cheesecake has become our partner last year in 2 of our brands, North and in Flower Child. And why I think big companies like us is that we're really a big company, but we act like a small company. You know, we have 50 restaurants, we have 4,000 employees, but we are able to curate, cultivate, and bring something to birth and then grow it at a pace that it wants to grow. And so we can go from 1 to 2 to 3. And then what happens is, as we kind of get to a certain scale, whether it's 6, 7, 8, 9, we start to get a lot of interest from a lot of people around the country and seeing what we're doing. And then after a while, a lot of people are knocking on our door to try and buy some of our brands.
Sam, so, okay, I want to know what you think the next big trend in fast casual is. I mean, is there some food category or something that we have not seen that you're going to tell us about?
Well, I don't want to tell you the next big one because I'm keeping it to myself. But I think you're seeing a lot of health. Everyone's obviously, you know, growing towards health, and you hear about it. And there's a lot of people out there that that's the way they want to eat, and that's the way they want to live their lifestyle. So you're going to continue to see that. We're in that with Flower Child. I also think you're going to see in a lot of other different things where restaurants are. We have a restaurant called The Henry, and it's 3 meal day parts, and it's also a coffee bar, and people are also using it as a WeWork space. Right. I think you're trying to see a lot of restaurant. Yeah, you're seeing a lot of restaurateurs trying to figure out, hey, we have this real estate, and we need to use this real estate all day long to make our margins. So they're opening their doors longer, and they're providing different opportunities.
Why has nobody nailed a truly national, successful Chinese food story? And I know there's some out there, but nobody's really.
P.F. Chang's?
Yeah, but
P.F. Chang's. Yeah, yes. P.F. Chang's was an early adopter and grew. I would say they're probably the only national one at the time. You know, and
I always thought that sushi would hit, but sushi never really hit on a truly national scale. What happened there, Sam?
You know, I would say the person that's successful on the most national level on sushi is Nobu. And not only are they successful in America, but they're successful around the country.
Sam, real quickly, if your success is acting like a small company, how scalable is this? You've got 50 restaurants right now. How big could you get?
You know, we've sold a lot of things along the way, and so we've sold over 40 restaurants. And so, you know, we like to stay in that sweet spot of being somewhere between a mom and pop and a big corporation. And so we're, you know, we take it one day at a time. I don't know exactly where that is every single day, but, you know, we continue to open stores. We have a big growth ahead of us this year. And as while we're growing, we'll just take it one great restaurant at a time.
Sam, thank you so much for joining us. It's great talking to you.
Thank you for having me.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.